This video is part of a whole video course called Advanced Lighting for Video. If you want to see the next segment, Studio Lighting, where you'll learn how to get the most from your studio lighting, you're in luck because we're giving it to you for free. Just click on the link in the description and follow the directions.
One of the most time-consuming parts of any video production is the lighting. It often takes more time to set up a scene properly than it can to shoot it. So that's why studio lighting is a tempting solution for many cinematographers. It allows more control over lighting and eliminates almost all setup time, making for a more efficient shooting schedule, which honestly is always a good thing. So in order to set up your own, we'll show you what to consider when choosing a studio space, such as size, electricity, and sound, as well as what kind of equipment to buy, so that you can not only make a studio that makes your life easier, but impresses your clients as well. The first thing to consider when finding a proper studio is size. Simply put, a studio that's too small is as good as not having a studio at all. That's why the best space for a studio is a room with ceilings that are 10 feet high or more and that has dimensions of at least 20 feet by 20 feet. A room of this size will cut down on light spill from the ceilings and walls, and lastly, give your talent the freedom to move. The next thing to consider about a room is its features. Does it have a suspended ceiling? Does the ceiling have mounting points for light trusses? What color is the room? And so on. If the only room available for your studio has a suspended ceiling, you basically have two options. You can either disassemble the ceiling to give yourself extra height for lighting gear and trusses, or you can make use of butterfly clips to hang lightweight fixtures from the beams and tees of the ceiling. You'll have to be careful though, as butterfly clips tend to bend the suspended ceiling beams and will put the fixture close enough to the tile to cause some discoloration over time. Though the height of suspended ceilings can be a problem, they do have some advantages. Suspended ceilings make it easy to hide and reinstall electrical cabling. They're also perfect for hanging lightweight cloth or paper backdrops and can even be used to install studio-style LED lighting panels. Room color is another feature that's important to consider for a studio. Especially if you have a smaller studio than normal, it's a good idea to either paint the walls and ceiling a dark color or to hang up dark cloth along the walls. This will allow you to control your studio lighting even better. Lastly, if you plan on making a lighting grid, you'll want to find out where the studs are in your ceiling. This way you'll know where you can hang light trusses for your fixtures. The electrical wiring layout in a room can make or break a studio. Without enough power to draw from, you'll be limiting what kind of lights you can use. As such, you'll want to first find the electrical panel and see how many circuits your potential studio has, as well as how many amps are on each circuit. If you'll be using incandescent or quartz halogen light bulbs, you'll probably need at least 30 to 40 amps of power in order to make sure that you don't overload your system. Related to this, you'll also want to find out which outlets and switches are connected to each circuit. This way you can label how much power you can draw from each outlet before it overloads. If you'll be hanging lights from the ceiling of your studio, you may want to consider having an electrician install outlets in the ceiling or at the top of a wall so that you don't have to run any unsightly cables down to the floor. Now to be safe, you'll probably want to have a 10 amp circuit for every 2 lights that you'll be plugging into. Now this way you won't have to walk back to the circuit breaker every 10 minutes during a shoot, which can be rather embarrassing. One of the most important things to consider about a studio space is noise. If you can help it, try to make sure that your studio isn't close to a highway, train station, or airport. Now if it is, you may want to build an inner wall in your studio to trap that unwanted noise. Of course, the biggest culprit for noise in a studio almost always comes from the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, or the HVAC. Now these units will add a low hum to your audio that's usually a real pain to take out. As such, you'll need to make sure that you can turn off your HVAC unit during a shoot, or hire a professional to soundproof your HVAC unit for you. This might cost a little bit of money, but it'll help your audio sound clean, clear, and professional. Finding, renting, or building the right space for a studio is one of the best investments a cinematographer can make. By making your own, you can ensure that all your scenes are well lit without having to spend hours of time to do so.
Thanks for watching. If you want to watch the next video in this course, Studio Lighting, where you'll learn how to get the most from your studio lighting, follow the link in the description and we'll give it to you for free.